Cardcaptor Sakura tells the story of 4th grader Sakura Kinomoto, who discovers and accidentally releases a deck of cloud cards that she found in a book in her father's office. After doing that, she also releases the guardian of the cards, Kiberos, Kero for short, who is meant to be her guide as to getting the cards back before chaos would take over the world. However, while accomplishing this, Sakura realizes that she is not the only one going after the cloud cards. The Cardcaptor Sakura manga was written and illustrated by Clamp, and it was first published on May 2nd, 1996, and it concluded on July 3rd, 2000. The anime premiered on April 7th, 1998, and it finished on March 21st, 2000, which was 4 months before the manga's official conclusion. Now, before I get started on this versus, if this starts sounding like Anime America's review of Magic Knight Rayearth, I completely apologize because that was never my intention. I think the reason why they would sound similar is that, well, with Clamp, well, I think with the exception of Chobits, their series are kind of similar in fantasy, magical girl stuff formula. So, yeah, it's kind of obvious that Magic Knight Rayearth and Cardcaptor Sakura would almost fall into the same exact universe, especially if you've heard of their giant compilation of everything called Tsubasa Reservoir. Yeah, it's kind of like that, and I'm gonna try to go more in depth with Cardcaptor Sakura than when Anime America talked about Magic Knight Rayearth. So I hope that wins you guys back. Also, I'm only going to be talking about the series that was released in the 90s. I'm not tackling Clear Card just yet for the fact that it's still airing, and I am not finished with that part of the series yet. Plus, I had not read the manga for that yet, so me doing a versus or anime review on that will have to wait. So without further ado, this is Cardcaptor Sakura, manga versus anime. As far as both mediums go, the story and plot remain the same. The only difference for them is that the anime definitely adds more than what the manga had established. Considering this is a typical children's story formula. The manga has 12 official volumes to the series' name, and it's definitely a lot to go through. Though not Bleach, Naruto, Fairy Tail, or even One Piece bountiful. Regardless of that, it still took us into Sakura's magical Japan. Clamp definitely outdid themselves with this series. This manga was just screaming anime. We wanted Sakura to come to life. Or at least, the majority of us who are older than I am, because I was too young to know what anime even was back in 1998. Yeah, and it screamed anime as in we prefer it in the anime format. The manga set up the universe. The anime set up Sakura. The anime gave Sakura more chances to adapt to the universe, to find the hero that she didn't know she had in her, especially at the beginning. The manga did tell us how Sakura found the cards, but it was very brief. I got the message of the manga portraying the Sakura universe as a way in its story, but because the manga showed its backstory so quickly, then I almost missed how it began. The anime really helped explain that. It's very easy to say that the anime made the series longer than it had to be, but at least it got my questions answered. Like, who are my characters? The manga introduced us to the most memorable characters of the shoujo realm: Sakura, Tomoyo, Shaoran, Kero, Toya, Yuki, and Errol. We remember them for both manga and anime designs, their personalities, and their connections. And when I say personalities, They were pretty straightforward, especially for what's considered a children's series. But even still, they were different enough that they had their own personalities, which made them memorable. When it came to Sakura, though, the manga definitely made her a Mary Sue type of character, which is not bad, but it's nothing unique either. Which is why the anime gave her a giant upgrade. Because of the 70 episodes, Sakura and her friends now have real struggles and opinions about the situation Sakura got stuck in. We see how Sakura struggles in her fights and how tired she gets after each one. We see how very much in depth Tomoyo is every time she sees Sakura fight. We actually get to meet more of their school friends because they're elementary schoolers. Of course they have friends! Now, we also understand why Shaoran is so obsessed with getting the cloud cards before Sakura and how shy he gets around her because Sakura is such a cute little bean. And we actually get a new character who helps Sakura find a somewhat jealous trait. Keyword being somewhat. Okay, I don't like Mei Ling for the sole reason that she was thrown in there for the whole Sakura and Shaoran love triangle trope. Which, I didn't know that was popular in the 90s, but even for 4th graders, I guess it was needed. But she did serve a purpose, and she's not in the series for too long either, so I guess I can't complain too much about that. For this section, I would say that the manga was more of a stepping stone for what the anime is supposed to be, and it absolutely worked. Okay, I am trying my best not to fangirl about this portion, because the anime is one of the most gorgeous things I have ever seen in my life, and the manga is just as beautiful. Cardcaptor Sakura, the manga, is considered a shojo staple because it looks like a shojo staple. Clamp knew that this series was going to appeal to little girls, so the characters in the outdoor scenes had to match to the audience appeal. This did work, some of the time. The art style is simplistic for Sakura at best. Even during the fight scenes, there would be 1, 2, or 3 extravagant panels. Other times, the pages are easy to skim through without giving the appreciation to the story that's going on at hand. Some of the pages take up more of the dialogue bubbles and boxes more than they do the art. It's even sadder to say that the colored pages, which are only there for the cover and chapter page purposes, are more appealing than the actual story pages, and that is not good. And when I said that this manga was screaming anime, the colored pages was what I meant. Though the anime was invented to bring the manga to life, anime really brought Cardcaptor Sakura to life. You didn't think that this anime would have more detail than the manga, but guess what? It does! I'll easily admit that the battle scenes are kinda less impressive than the manga's art design, but what makes these scenes work is the fact that you see Sakura actually trying to figure out what to do, which makes the battles more dangerous than the manga, which the enemies don't seem to attack or much of anything else at all, really. The backgrounds in the anime are way more prevalent than they are in manga. Because of that, the anime really brings its viewers into the story's environment. We get to see the characters interact with the fantastical things that are happening, which adds more to why the story is so unique. Well, for the late 90s at least. What I can give both mediums credit for is how natural the characters are with the gestures given. This may sound more like a character discussion, but seeing how the drawings that have been put on paper originally act on screen, yeah, it's more about the art. The characters are a different age group from what other famous shoujo shows present. The majority of the characters in Sakura are under the age of 13. children in shorter terms. Children are going to physically act different and mentally act different from teenagers. And Cardcaptor Sakura masters how kids are kids. They're jealous, they're curious, they're scared, they're naive, they're confused. They learn, they laugh, they cry. They experience love for the first time. This series knows how to portray 4th graders to a T. Everything is authentic. There is no child character I found annoying because every single character I came across is a living person in my eyes. So yeah, it's kind of obvious that the anime is the better medium here. But would I say that the manga did not do the anime justice? I would be completely missing the forest for the trees if I said yes. If this manga didn't exist, the anime would never have come out either. The Cardcaptor Sakura franchise is considered a world classic in the manga anime industry. When people think of magical girls, other than Sailor Moon, they think about Cardcaptor Sakura. As far as I'm concerned, not a lot of magical girl anime can top Sakura. No better character can match her personality. No plot could match how complex the backstory was. Other than Madoka Magica, at least. How relatable the situations are could be despite the fact there is fantasy in what seems to be a realistic town. It's going to take a really groundbreaking magical girl series to be able to compare it to the masterpiece that is Cardcaptor Sakura. And if you guys are really interested in seeing the anime now, especially with the Cloud Card part being released and airing right now, I highly suggest that you watch this in English subtitles and listen to the Japanese dub. The English dub is not bad. It's just very jarring at times, and I get that this is supposed to be a children's show, but they really watered down the language to describe the plot and the characters in it, because they think, oh, we're too dumb to understand what's going on. Even, like, if kids don't understand, like, Japanese culture, that, they just won't get it. Look, it's okay for us to learn things, but we're not stupid, okay? Just don't dumb it down for us, which is why I suggest you just watch the original. I'm Cait Cher, and it's been real. Ciao!